What? What do you get when you cross racing and skeletons? Raskulls! I cannot stress this enough how fun this game is. I really like this game. It's one of the better racing games I've played for a very long time. Not saying that there wasn't any recently, but you know what I mean. Allow me to get into why I like this game so much. Basically, it's a side-scrolling platforming racer. What makes this game different from other side-scrolling platformers or racers, or any of the above, is you got three different ways of racing. You got racing against other people, racing against time, and what I like to categorize as racing against an objective. What I mean by that is there are moments where you have to do a certain objective, like create a certain shape or use a certain number of zaps. I'll get into more of that later, and stuff along those lines. And the game does a very good job at taking these three and like spreading them out evenly so that you don't really run out of like gameplay and you're not always doing the same thing. So repetition is not a big problem with this game. Although with the gameplay there are a few things that I don't really like. Throughout the game's story mode, it gives you this natural progression of like easy into difficult stuff, and sometimes it does throw a few difficult things in there, which sort of like sets it off a little bit from this pace it's trying to create. But I sort of nitpick at it, whatever. Overall, it's a very fun and enjoyable game. Nevertheless, the gameplay is awesome, and it also contains a bit of Mr. Driller essence in there, so thumbs up for that. Another thing I like about this game is its story. The story is really hilarious. It contains a lot of funny dialogue in it. The story is basically, there are these crystal skulls that are being threatened to get taken. One of them actually gets taken, and you have to go retrieve that, and then like the other one's getting threatened to be stolen from these pirates. So you're going off to retrieve that, and then you got like the final showdown that happens. Although the story sounds like, you know, oh great, another one of these sort of stories, it does a very good job in making the story very interesting and trying to deviate up, because like you're always going like, what's gonna happen next? And sort of obviously explains why it's called Raskulls. Although I give this game a lot of praise, there are a few things that I don't like about this game. One of the things I don't really like about it is its controls. Don't get me wrong, the controls are really good. They work fine. Just, the one thing I don't like is the jumping. The jumping sometimes feels a little off. And it might be me, I don't know, but it feels odd in some sort of way. Another thing I'd nitpick at is the story's a little bit short. The story spans over 3 chapters. Within those 3 chapters, you do have a lot of levels to go through, but I mean, if you're just trying to get, like, from the beginning to the end of the game, it's not going to take you all that long, to be honest. You'll probably, you know, beat the game if you're just going straight through it within maybe a couple hours, which is a little disappointing, but what it lacks in its short story, it makes up greatly with replay value. The replay value in this is ginormous. You have not only the need to get a better score, but you have all these hidden levels that aren't even on the map sometimes. You got characters that you can unlock for your multiplayer, you got, you know, cheats you can unlock, and a bunch of other stuff, so the game definitely has a lot of replay value to it. As I just noted, there is multiplayer. Basically, just choose a Raskull that you've unlocked in the single player, and you play 4-player on and offline sort of races, just standard, race against people, which is really great. But it would have been nice to see some of those, race to completed objective sort of races in there. Overall, I give this game a 9 out of 10. It's a fun, enjoyable, different racer. Not a lot of times you see these platforming, side-scrolling racers out there, so this one definitely takes the risk of trying something that isn't too big in today's mainstream, I guess you could say. But it does a very good job at doing that. The story is a little bit short, but it's funny, and what the story lacks in its length, it makes up greatly with replay value. If you're looking for a game that you want to try this time around, definitely grab Raskulls.